Well, the YouTube Archie here. I got another video to do. This will be my third try on my new phone. And all of a sudden, my new phone has been screwing up. Now, whether it be the SD card, which I erased like 2 times already, and I'm going to try it again if this screws up, but so far, friggin' everything is... My videos have been cutting short, stopping in the middle of something, and yeah. I don't know if it's got to do though where I was yesterday or the day before, which was I went to Bristol, Rhode Island. I have pictures up on my website pages if you want to check them out. I didn't get many because I was on a time limit there. I wanted to get a shot of Mount Hope Bay and stuff, but I didn't. I wasn't able to, but I did get into a couple places that I really wanted to be, and that's as much as I got, but that was enough for me. But also other things had happened there, a couple other things I'm going to go over. Like I was told, I couldn't videotape at the place, so sucks to say, but you know, visiting, it was just, and getting the pictures was even just as much as good as, you know, the video. But what had happened there, go figure, no video, no proof, and who knows, I don't care. Believe it or not, but I believe, and anybody don't want to believe, well, that's on you, because what had happened there is just insane. And I'll tell you something. I mean, while I was there, I did encounter noises in the woods. I did happen to, where'd it go? Get a little audio with this. But, of course, forgot to check the damn thing before I got there. I thought I was all set, but come to find out, my son got a hold of it. Now I get this. But you can't hear nothing. It's on. I might be able to, like, in the middle of the night or before I go to bed, I'm going to try and put this on the phone and make a video of it or whatnot. But if it don't work, it don't work, because it's very low. And it came out like crap. But whatever. Anyways, I don't know, I haven't listened to this yet because I need headphones. I need to be in the environment of quietness. And around here, there's no quietness. Due to the 4 kids yelling, screaming, fighting. Come bedtime, you know, it's like hit the pillow, bang out. But anyways, now the happenings, I mean... So I pulls up into the gates of Mount Hope Farm. It's stone walls when you get there. Like I said, you do need a special pass to get there, just to make known that you're not allowed to go there without permission. It is a bed and breakfast. I mean, if you get a room there, spend the night or spend the day, I think you're able to travel to the points of interest. You know, it's all in support of a good cause to keep the zone areas safe. Me, and the reason why I got a pass is because in my journey that I'm on, doing this King Philip War, and the passion I had of writing a 2-page letter has gotten me in, and a lot of things that have happened and a lot of things that I've said in my 2-page letter. You know, and my Indian blood that I have, I do not know yet. One day I'm going to get down to the old DNA testing now to figure out what part of Indian I really am. I know there's a couple options out there, and I could be both either Canadian or upper state New York Indian. And I did try getting on Ancestry.com, what a joke that is. I put in a credit card, and I was going to do the 30-day challenge thing, whatever, 14-day thing, and I never got it. Pissed me off. I don't even want to go even back on the website to retry it because it just literally... But the things there, though, this is what happened. And I'm just... It ain't no different than what I've been saying in my videos. I can tell you that right now. And if anything, being at this point of interest in this part of the town, in this part of the story of what I'm doing in my journey of documentary of the King Philip War, which I don't like calling that, but I have to say it anyways, because people don't realize that Chief Medicom is just a name to people these days, and to me that's in his honor and respect. I like to try and keep it the great Chief Medicom. But for what I've been experiencing here in Massachusetts, here in this town, with the ravens, with the crows, and even the hawk. And just yesterday I was outside walking the pug and the hawk literally blew over my head again. Literally flew right on by. Seen the shadow in the grass because it's so damn big. And whoop, there it went. And like I said, I had a visit from a hawk in a field in Leominster, Mass, which is a reservation, as they call it, land. And it's over in the vicinity of Route 12 and the Boys and Girls Club of Leominster, Fitchburg, and they use that land for nature hikes and stuff. But there I encountered a hawk, just sitting there, just walking around on a bale of hay. It gave me enough time to turn around, turn back, in the commotion of it all, making noise. My wife yells at me because I bumped off a curb and hit to chirp the tire. And, and all in that commotion of whipping around. I come back and whip him around and stop, and he literally let me take a picture. And like I say, if I would have known the quality that would have came out because it pissed me off, I was going to take a video too. But of course I got to the point where picture. I went to take the video. He then had actually taken a dump. Took a big old mean crap and flew off. But all in all, when you're visited or even encountered by a hawk that close, and I was at least 15 feet away from him, 15 feet, I got a video up to show where I was at and standing. They did move the bales of hay around, but 15 feet. Literally, he looked at me, just stayed there and posed for the picture. I was amazed. And when you get encounters, I guess, from the hawk, the raven, even the crows are a part of the family of the raven. I mean, they're not the messengers like the raven is, but I mean, they're there. And it's only true when you get visited and you start seeing these birds. And even the day before I went to Bristol, Rhode Island, 20 hawks flew over my head when I stepped out of my truck in Walmart in Leominster, Mass. 20 of them. I got a little video clip of that up, and it's called 20 Hawks. And I didn't get all of them, but what I could get, you could see a majority of them. And when I was counting them, I didn't get them all on the camera, but there was 20 of them. I said 19, but out of the blue, another one came in, and there was 20. And it was just, what the, WTF. Amazement. And I just don't know what it was about it for, but if it had to do something with Bristol, Rhode Island, insane stuff happening to me on this journey that I started last year, mind you. And of course, 500th anniversary. Last year, this year. 2015, 2016. War started 1675. Ended in 1676. Go figure. And I didn't realize this till later on of this year. In the beginning of this year, like March, April, when I started trying to get out there to Bristol. And was emailing back and forth to Director Jen, very professional, awesome lady to work with. And the school I highly appreciate the, look, I just seen something come up, but I'm still rolling. And I highly appreciate the school. Hopefully I don't get cut off again. I'm going to be pissed if I do. But the school, I love to awesomely thank you. I couldn't thank you enough for letting me take a piece of history of such nature, of that kind, and be there. Stand on the same grounds of where King Metacom was born and lived. So, but now getting into the part where how I got there, I drove up, and the office has wooden fence made of literally tree. The base of a tree. You know, you cut all the limbs off. They made it just like the Indians would live back in their day, and they surround their living space, as you would call it, their dwelling, and they would have stakes and trees of that round nature, shaved, stuck in the ground around their camp, and that's how their gates went into the main office to get in there. And and no sooner did I step out of the truck, there was like 5 hawks, no, not hawks, 5 crows, and I think the hawks, 2 or 3 hawks, and they're all whipping in and out of the trees like nothing, whipping. You see them carring, and in the, you know, screaming out their bird calls and back and forth. I mean, it was just like a, and when I told, you know, Jen and the man that, one of the tour guides or whatnot, I told him about my experience, and she was saying that, yeah, 2 hawks sit on these posts on each side of it every now and then, she said, and they just sit there. It's like they're guardians to the land, and they know what's there. And like I said, Native Americans use that back in the day for the spirits of the dead in the future, and it's just, you can look it up, it's all there. And if you don't believe it, well, too bad for you, because my encounters before I even went to Bristol are all documented. And so, I mean, I get to my point of interest. The first one is the throne. And I get there, and you know, I got a few pictures, and you could just feel the energy there. You could just feel the, you know, the Native American spirits all around you. And I mean, I just got that feeling like I did when I went to Oxford, Mass. Oh, hang on a sec, I gotta read that. Ah, shit. Something's going on. I hope this don't shut off, you dirty prick. But as soon as, you know, and then we got explaining, I was telling them about everything I knew and what I found out that ain't in the books. And we get to the burial ground of, I don't know if he's buried there, but that whole location, right, it's about a wonder why you gotta have a pass to get in to check that out, because it is a sacred ground you gotta be careful on. But I placed a rock down I made myself with a engraving gun. I mean, it was peaceful there, but there was some things. And then as I was doing my tape recording, wouldn't you know, a distance in the woods, a hawk flew right by me. It sucks I couldn't get video of that, but he whipped right on by me in the woods, like coasting down. And it was just breathtaking to see this and just to be there. And but not only that, I get a picture I take, and I took a bunch of pictures, not much, but enough to my satisfaction. Like I said, I was on a time limit. I wish I could have got more, but and while I'm doing all this, my wife sat in the truck waiting. It wasn't too far from the truck, the site. A good 100 feet. And another 200 feet is where Metacom's wigwam would have been. So, I mean, I'm hearing stuff cracking in the distance, like feet on the sticks, and you don't see no animals unless the hawk was out there moving around. But So I'm standing there doing everything, and I just finished up and goes back to the truck. Now, I went to, got a video up, Bloodtown Forest is the title, Lancaster, Mass. I went there to check this out because I was scoping for a video. I found the entrance to it. And the website I got the entrance off of, to make a long story short, gave the wrong address. Pretty much the way I got it, it seemed like the wrong address. It was the wrong address. It's on another whole road that ain't even written on the website. But I found it. I got there and I was getting ready to leave, and I heard this individual tapping on the trees. Tap. You know, tap. Tap. So I get people telling me in my comment box that maybe it's a woodpecker. Maybe, you know what? No, I've heard woodpeckers. And everybody that knows a woodpecker should know that them suckers are going ba 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 ba. They're not going tap, tap. You know, they're not individually tapping their hole. It was cold out, mind you. It was winter time. You know, if they're out there tapping, they want to get inside and get warm. They don't want to sit out and tap their hole. It was a good, 30 degrees out that day. Not below, but 30 degrees. It was very windy. And all you could hear was that tap. And my wife out there in Bristol, Rhode Island. I didn't hear it because I must have been talking. I was talking, and I must have been too far out from where she was, but she heard individual tapping. And I got a good reason to believe that individual tapping like that has got to do with the Metacom War. And I believe, honestly, my thoughts, my theory, that was a communication during the war when they were hiding in the woods on the English to, alert other Indians that they're coming, And, of course, the English ain't gonna know what that is. Indians learn from the wild all kinds of animal noises, bird noises, Everything they could come up and mimic, they would, just for that purpose. So if an enemy comes, or the English, or whoever it may be, they're making them whoo, 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 all them funny noises. It's good to know. It only goes to show how intelligent these people were. How intelligent the Native Americans were. You got English come here from their books and learning, and, 16th century learning from a book type thing from these guys living in the wild. That's why the English feared the Indians, because they were raised in the wild. They acted like the wild. Yes, they also killed like the wild, but guess what? The English weren't any better either. They were all disgraceful, disgustful, disrespectful to bodies and things also. So you just can't sit in. And like I say, when I go to a site where Indian had killed somebody, it says what they did to them people. They killed them, they burned them, they scalped them, they did all this stupid shit. And when I went to Turner's Fall, it didn't say nothing on a stone hedge, anything that I could see. If it was there, I missed it. But it didn't say nothing about, Turner was one of the generals or something, colonels, that led in the troops to kill the Indians while they slept. That's why it's called Turner's Falls. And it was named after that colonel that slaughtered a whole tribe of Indians that were sleeping through the Great Metacom War. So there you go. But do you see they say a sign saying, the English came here, slaughtered the Indians while they slept? No, you don't. But you see everything in a site where the Indians did something, and they make them look like savages. And that's what this is all about. These untold stories, or even places I think that were Indian stomping grounds that ain't even in the books, because of my self-journey and knowledge of things, and my old books that I have that I read through. I still got another book I gotta read through, and my father says it's the White Oak Neighbors, and it says a lot of details about Massachusetts back in the time through the King Philip War and all that. So, but being there in Bristol, Rhode Island was one of the most memorable, honorable moments of my life. And I'm glad I got to get there, and I'm glad that I, left my stone with my name on it, because that's what Indians used to do to fallen warriors and chiefs. In honor to them, they would leave their stones and rocks, pile them up, and that would be their honoring to a grave. But these days, man, it's just sick how developers come in and move things. And that's what I was saying to the guy there, he's one of the tour guides, and I said, I'm about to wonder that's why they made the Poltergeist movie, due to the Indian burial grounds. You moved the graves, but you didn't move the bodies. And there's places in Massachusetts that they did. They didn't move the bodies. They moved the graves, but not even thinking maybe there could be hauntings or, who cares? They were Indians. Plow over them, build there, put a house. And that's what it is, man. It's pretty bad that Johnny Depp had to go out with his own money and buy back land that once were owned by the Indians to give back to the Indians. And I'm thankful for guys like Johnny Depp. I've been watching his movies since, Freddy Krueger, when he made his debut, 21 Jump Street. Very talented actor. Loved his movies, loved his performances, and even love him in the Hollywood Vampires. I gotta get out and get their album. They have one out, but I would love to see him on tour also. But yeah, it's just pretty bad when someone like that's gotta come out and put into what was once owned. And it's just sick to say that they gotta live like this and go about, having their land taken and just, let me buy this for you and give it back to you. It's just sick. But anyways, there were some things I had to go over with that. Other than that, everything else is coming up soon. I got more stuff on this. But just to think that what I've already covered before I went there and stuff was happening and the same things happened there, no doubt in my mind I'm on something very close to breaking through some real stomping grounds of what I think once happened and stuff that was used. So, and these are just my thoughts and theories. It ain't in the books. It ain't written either of what I come out with. This is all stuff that I found out on my own through this journey of 1 year, mind you. So, other than that, I'm going to move on. Like I said, I'm going to try and get this audio off this tape. It might be muffled, it might be low. Maybe if I put the phone on top, it'll come out alright. But just to get out what I said there, and maybe if there's any noises I missed, damn well they all come out on these things. But other than that, YouTube Nation, the story in my honorable moment, memorable moment, Bristol, Rhode Island, in the great Chief Metacom of his burial ground. Honor to be there. It was great. Awesome. Other than that, I still got more to come on this. Until the next video, YouTube Nation, out.